Hello, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about the About section, what to put in it. Most people get this wrong, but so far we've discussed the banner image, the profile picture and the headline. So things are starting to look pretty good. There's a pretty concise message there. When someone looks at that banner image, they know what we do and they know the tech that we use. The profile picture is clear, and then the headline gives them an indication of the high level technologies that we want to use. So when a recruiter opens this up, immediately, before they've even really read that much, they know exactly why they should continue to read this profile. Certainly if it's a match for the job description that they're searching for candidates for, then they know very quickly, this person looks like a fit, I'll keep reading this one. So there's only so much room you've got in the headline, and often you want to include some of the complementary tech that is also required or requested on the job descriptions. It's found in that nice to have section, but there's not really enough space up here, and if you put in everything you've ever done in your headline, it becomes a little bit too cluttered. So this is what the About section for. Contrary to what people do all the time, this is not the place to discuss your pets. It's not about your hobbies. It can be, mentioning certain things about your personal life, but those are great things for paragraphs 2 and 3. We need to think about the order of the information we're putting out there. What do I mean by that? We need to put the thing that's most valuable to the person reading our profile first. But what do they really care about? Now, you might be thinking, well, they will care that I like cats and I like coffee. I'm afraid they don't really care. What that person's thinking, what pressure they're under is, I need to find someone to fill this job or I'm not going to get my commission or I'm going to get fired. So they need to know very quickly, do you do all the things that I'm searching for so I can put you forward to my boss or I can put you forward to my client, and then I seem to be doing my job really well, I get a pay rise. That's what they really want. So we need to tell them, yes, you are in the right place. I do all those things. You should keep reading my profile. So let's start by putting in a sample About section, and then we'll break it down into the sections. So you don't necessarily need to use exactly the text that I'm using, but the idea behind it. And we'll break that down into 3 separate sections. So here we can edit this and we'll paste in a different one here, and I got a sample. So the first stage, in fact, let's just save that, and so we know that's definitely in place. So the first stage is, what are you using right now? What is the technology that I should be interested in you for? And this can be, unpacking a bit more onto the tech that we listed in the headline. So I might say here, I'm a full stack developer specializing in Node, React, TypeScript, maybe AWS, and I'd be inclined to maybe include some of the technologies I use in AWS, maybe S3 or Lambda, that sort of stuff. But then when someone's searching for a full stack developer, they might also be interested in someone who's got some testing experience and have used certain testing libraries. There could be, like I say, some extra complementary tech. So that's where I'd say, well, I'm an advocate for test-driven development and I've used Jest or React Testing Library in all my recent projects. You can embellish a little bit further than I have done here. So this first section, I say, tell them more about the tech you already know. The next section, what are you learning? Because you might not tick off all of the technologies that are usually required or requested on these job descriptions, but if you can tick off most of them and then also show that you're making inroads to learning more of the ones that are the nice to haves, then you're starting to bump yourself up the order of being someone who's the most matched with this role. So maybe other candidates also have the same technologies listed on the required list, but you're now ticking off a few of the extras in the nice to have list. You might not have depth of experience with using those technologies, but you are starting to learn them, and that's proactivity. Proactivity wins. So I'm just giving you an example here that maybe they're looking for somebody with AWS, but you're saying I've got some AWS skills, I use that, and I've mentioned that in my headline and in my about section, but I'm also learning GCP. And this might show that you're really interested in that subject, that you've got a background in this. Maybe they're using GCP, but they're going, well, we've got no one who's applied who's got GCP experience, but this person has already been using AWS and now they're teaching themselves GCP. And that's a powerful statement. So let's look at those two sections. Tech I already know, tech that I'm learning, and then the last one is, where can I see evidence of this? Where can I see evidence of your proactivity? You can't just say I'm passionate and I'm enthusiastic about tech or a language or a framework. They need to be able to see evidence of that. So this is where I would say something like, to see examples of my work, visit my GitHub and place a link in it, or follow my work log. And this is what we're going to get into later about documenting your journey and filling out this activity section. And one strategy I've seen developers do that's really quite powerful is to say every time they post, they use a particular hashtag so that someone can come on here and just click on that hashtag and see all of their activity, see what they've been learning, what they've been teaching themselves. So you can follow my work log here by following hashtag coding careers. Now this probably means I've got to start using that hashtag because you're all going to click on it and I've done nothing with it. But you get the idea. So what are the three sections? What is the tech you know? What is the tech you're learning or you're about to start learning? And where can they see examples of your work or examples of your proactivity? So now if someone actually likes what they've seen, they like what they've read in your about section, they already had liked your banner image and your headline, they think you're right for this job, now they're going to be looking for supporting evidence, evidence to back up the claims you've made. And I talk about your banner image, your headline and about section always looking forward. These are the claims that these are the technologies I can use, or these are the technologies I'm learning. And now we need to drive them to evidence of that. And that could be happening in your activity. We could be talking about it in our experience or linking out to third-party sites that prove that we are being proactive about making this happen. So let's dig into that now.